Hey folks, welcome back to another episode. So today I got me 3 of HyperX wireless headsets that pretty much I have been using to play games, to do conference calls and all that good stuff. These are pretty much some of my favorite headset out there, and as you can see, they're all HyperX. So let's get right into the comparison right here. So on my left right here, this is the HyperX Flight headset. That's what they call it. You can tell that it's kind of similar to this over here where it's called the Flight S version. Even though these two right here looks the same, there is a huge difference between them. This headset, the Flight headset over here, as you can see, it comes with this little red wire that literally goes from the headband down to the piece, to the ear piece right here. On the Flight S, they've kind of cleaned all that up, so you really don't see the exposed wires anymore. The other differences between these two is that this headset, the logo actually glows, so that's a plus to the Flight headset right there. Other noticeable difference that you probably won't know until you own these is the fact that the cushion on the ear cup is different. My kids actually prefer the Flight version over the Flight S. Here's the reason why. So you see, this thing is a lot thinner than the Flight S headset, much thicker here. And the reason why my kids prefer the Flight over the Flight S headset is that it doesn't crush their head as much. So depending on your head size, if you have like a big head size, it's gonna crush your head with the Flight S right here, because the cushion is like a pillow, like a huge pillow. Versus this one is still super comfortable, but as you can see, they kept it pretty slim. Now, the last differences between these two is that the Flight S actually has wireless charging, which I totally love. I think that is one of the best features of this headset. And here's the reason why. Every single headset that I've used, even other brands, the little port, which this one comes with a micro USB port, tend to get loose and it won't charge the headset anymore, which if you can't charge the wireless headset, pretty much the headset is dead. So I've gone through a lot of headset because of that issue, and a lot of manufacturer keeps using really weak charging ports and they don't reinforce it. And what happens there is that I have to do something like this where I add in this little magnetic thing so that I'm not constantly plugging and unplugging on that port. All right. So with the Flight S, it actually has wireless charging, which is amazing to me. I actually use it on charging pads. Let me just show you one of the ways that I charge the Flight S headset. And so this is a MagSafe charger. Basically, it's just a wireless charger with a little magnet on it so that I can actually use my phone to charge it. So this is what I've been using to actually charge this wireless headset. Yeah, and you can use pretty much any wireless charger out there. If you have a little puck that just charges stuff that has wireless charging on it, you just use that. And basically what I do is this thing right here can twist up and down. So I use a down version like this to put my phone on there. But then if I need to, I just flip this thing up, and then I would just pop this thing right on top of it. And as you can see, it kind of stands pretty nicely right here. And yeah, it does charge it as soon as I put it up there because it's just wireless charging. Wireless charging is built in right over here. And yeah, it just works really well so far with my whole workflow. So amazing stuff if you have, a wireless charging. And by the way, it's super inexpensive to get one of the small wireless charging puck. You don't have to, get a super expensive one. I totally love it. That's actually the selling point of this one for me. But obviously comfortability, my kids prefer this one over here. And so now let's go over to the Cloud 2 headset. This one is the classic look And we have actually some of the wired version of this that we truly love because of it's just super comfortable. This thing is like literally is the name cloud is like a piece of cloud on your head. The design still stays the same after so many years. So we just thought we'd pick up the non-wired headset for it. And so far so good. This thing is pretty much the same. If you have a wired version of this, everything on this thing is pretty much the same. Yeah, the comfortability, the ear pads and everything is super nice and comfy. And as you can see, I actually put in the little dongle over here when I'm not using it. But yeah, the dongle is actually the same as well. It's very interesting. They just use the same one over and over again. All of these right here, the mic is removable, so you can just pull this thing out like so. Yeah, and you just plug it back in. This one too, pull it out and you just plug it back in. Just make sure you don't lose it after you pull it out. That's the only problem for me. So let me just remove this. So as you can see, if I put these three, you know what, I'm just gonna unplug it. So this right here is the Flight version of the headset. So it looks exactly like the Flight S version and also the Cloud 2 version. There's only one minor thing is that they add the LED on the Flight S version because it's a more quote-unquote premium headset than the Flight version. The only thing that does is that if you hit the mute button, this thing will turn red so that you know, hey, I'm muted, so your mic is not hot anymore. And when you have the headset on your head, it actually like would sit right here, so you can kind of see it on the corner of your eyes, the little red whenever you hit the mute button. Very helpful with this. Obviously, they include that into the Cloud 2 as well because that is a premium headset. And yeah, they included it. The only thing is you can't just interchangeably use the Flight S headset mic with the Cloud headset, even though look at the tip, it's pretty much the same. The problem here is that the base right here, it fits differently on the headset. I mean, it's still a 3.5 millimeter, but the design is very different. So if I were to use this on here, it wouldn't go all the way in. You see that? And vice versa on the Flight S, if I were to use the Cloud 2 version, it wouldn't go all the way in. So yeah, I wish they had kind of made it universal. That would be great. So that, you know, if you ever lose one of these, you can just buy one. But obviously that didn't happen. All right, so let's talk about like the mute buttons and things like that on these headset. On the Flight headset, the mute button is like right here. You can see the little emblem right there etched over there. So all my kids do is they just like tap it really hard and then it just beeps in the ear. Even though there is no LED on the little mic here, they have an audible in there that says that just beeps. The headset do change color whenever you mute the headset though, but obviously it's on your head, you can't really see it at all. So that's the one big flaw about that mute function. The Flight S, whenever you mute it, obviously you can see it on your headset. I actually don't use the mute button very much on here, in my opinion, but the design on this is a bit weird, in my opinion. There's these literally 4 buttons that's on this ear cup right here. I honestly don't even know which button is the mute button because as you can see, there's no indication on here at all. So I really don't use it at all. The other buttons is pretty much to skip a track or, you know, when you're listening to music and pause and things like that. And so I really don't use it for music. I use it for gaming, and that's about it. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of what I have to say about it. The other thing about this is the volume button. On the Flight headset, the volume button, there's slight like click to it, but it's very loose. It's very loose. So if you just pick up this headset, you'll accidentally like, you know, turn up the volume or turn down the volume and stuff like that. So just an FYI on that one. This one is very loose. This one right here, they kind of improved on it a little bit. There is a little nudge, like I guess the word is resistant, where there is a little resistant. But the thing here is this volume button right here doesn't have the tactile click to it. So it's not like click, 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 click. It's not like that, like the Flight version. The Flight S is just one smooth scroll. That's it. Now let's talk about the Cloud 2 headset. There is a little like tactile to it that you can feel that it's click, 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 but it's not like the Flight headset at all. There is a lot of resistance to the volume button, which I really love. I need those resistance because I don't want to just pick up my headset with my hand like this and accidentally turn up and down the volume. But yeah, that's kind of the volume button right there, which to a lot of people, that's kind of important because you're constantly changing the volume on there. The one thing about the Cloud 2 headset is that they actually upgraded the port. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the port for me, for some reason, it always breaks, like it gets loose and it won't charge. The Cloud 2 headset upgraded to USB-C. So you can see right here, I'm so glad they did that. Headset charged pretty quickly, so it's not the fact that USB-C charged faster than micro USB or anything like that. It's just that USB-C is a bit tighter when you plug it in than micro USB. Micro USB should actually go away, period. And so yeah, I totally love the fact that they upgraded to USB-C on this. It feels more like a modern headphone because of USB-C, in my opinion. The only thing I don't like about the Cloud headset is they still kept this whole wiring thing right here. I know why they're doing that, because you know when you're extending the headset this way, that the wire, you know, still give it some give. I really do think that they can actually tuck this in, make it go away somehow, because it looks like I can actually hit this thing and actually break it one day. Look at this. If you just like, if you do your headset like this, the wire actually do touch the metal piece right here, which I really don't like. That's a whole wear and tear kind of thing for me, you know. And so I hope that in version 3 that they make that go away. So the one last thing that I kind of want to make a comparison on these three, which is important to some people like me, is that when you take this headset off and you put it on your neck, how does it feel? Because a lot of time you have it on your neck and you know how your chin keeps hitting it in certain ways. Well, the Flight headset folds pretty well. It folds in like this. And so it's very comfortable. It's super comfortable. The headset part of it, the speaker part of it, folds in. So now with the Flight S headset, it folds in the same way as the Flight headset. So the speaker goes down and is super comfortable this way, okay? But when you flip it like this, if it stays like this, as you can see, I don't have much clearance at all because of this thick ear pads right here. Okay, so a lot of people do like the thick ear pads, but to me, I think with this design right here, kind of hinders it a little bit because one, it crushes your head, and two, as you can see, not much room at all. Some people do care about that, just an FYI. I don't care too much about it, but I mean, mainly because I can just flip it like this, right? All right, so now let's talk about the Cloud 2 headset, which again, very comfortable headset. Only problem here is that, look at this, it curves all the way in. And guys, I have this thing extended already, okay? This is the max that it'll extend. Imagine if it was smaller, right? It literally like won't fit my neck. And I have a small neck. So fully extended, but still, it's literally touching my neck right here. Yeah. Not a lot of movement right there. And on top of that, the Cloud S does not fold at all. You see this? It just stays this way. So you're literally, if you're a neck wearer, I guess I should label that. If you're a neck wearer, you're probably not gonna like this headset at all because it doesn't fold at all. And at the same time, as you can see, I have it max extended and it's touching my chin the whole way. It looks like you're wearing turtleneck all the time. Kind of like, you know, you have someone have their hands on your neck all the time. That's what it feels like. Yeah, that's what turtlenecks feels like. But you see that? It's pretty tight. But anyhow, so those are my kind of three comparison based on my experience of using the three headsets. I hope you guys like this comparison, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a good one. Bye bye.